Okay, hey everybody, Andrew here. Um, Not really even sure where to start. I figured it would be easier to do a video for this because there are a lot of posts that I've been meaning to make over the last few weeks, and just the way schedules work out, hadn't really had the chance to. So figured today is the day. Shave for the brave. It's going to happen this afternoon, and there was a lot I needed to compact into some summary stuff of the last few months. So, if any of you out there who remember me from the late 90s, any of my Booth alumni or Ryerson alumni or anyone working at PAL in the late 90s would remember that this is not a look that is uncommon to me. This is, roughly about where my hair was at that point. It did get a bit longer before I actually cut it all off, and the story behind that is, during high school and into the late 90s, I grew my hair out, and one day while in Toronto attending Ryerson, we went on lunch, and while everyone else went to the cafeteria for lunch, I went across the street just off Yonge Street in downtown Toronto, walked into a salon and said, cut all of this off. And the guy there was a bit surprised, was like, no, I can't, are you really sure about this? That's severe. It was quite long hair at the time. I said, yep, just hack it all off. So he lopped off the ponytail, trimmed it all up, and I walked out with a very short haircut, very similar to what I think most of you these days, or the last 15 years or so, have been used to seeing me with. So that was the story of my old hair. The beard, it's neither a point of pride nor shame that through most of my 20s and my 30s, I couldn't at all grow a full beard in any way. The best I could get was a goatee, and I sported that quite frequently, off and on. But yeah, so last year, COVID came around. My story of isolation actually goes back a little before COVID, in that in St. John's we had Snowmageddon, and the building I work in actually had a bit of a flood. We got displaced in February. And so I was working from home for quite a while, then got some temporary space, and was only in there for about 4 weeks before we had to come home again. That has nothing to do with this video, so I don't know why I've trailed off into that. Well, I know why I trailed off, because it's what I do. Many of you that know me know this. So, sorry, back on track. So, my last haircut would have been in December of 2019, when I had it cut and done for our company Christmas party. And my last shave would have been in early January sometime, after New Year's. I was keeping myself clean shaven up till then, and stopped for a little bit. Originally, in the winter, I started to let my beard grow back a little bit in anticipation of possibly doing a play in the winter-spring months where I would need a little bit of a beard back. That play, by the way, was Vincent by Leonard Nimoy. We did it in 2019 to great success, and hope to do it again soon when things get back to normal. So keep an ear out. Again, has nothing to do with any of this. But yeah, so through the course of letting everything grow out into the fall, sometimes when I get a bit slack, my haircuts are usually about 2 to 3 months apart. That's at the extreme. Try to get it every 4 to 6 weeks at least to keep it tidied up. But yeah, so I mean, the year started to go and everything grew out, and I thought, well, this is a cute little novelty, and everyone was talking about COVID hair at the beginning of the year and all that stuff. So it just continued to grow, and at some point during the midsummer part of the year when it was growing out, I thought, this is now going to be the thing. This is, I am going to spend the year growing my hair out to see what happens. And a little side story of that, part of my inspiration of that was not only was I doing this just as a gag. I know a lot of people out there think that maybe the year got to me. There was some depression, a bit of, cabin fever. I was beginning to lose all hope, and was just letting myself go out of some sort of more negative reason. Jokes aside, everything was fine. So But another interesting story that came to me when I was thinking about all this, to the Canadian Improv Games alumni out there in Canada. Anyone of a certain demographic or older demographic in the CIG will remember the one of our great founders, not the original founders because that goes back a few more years, but a prominent name was Scott Florence in the Canadian Improv Games. And when I was in high school and we were involved in the games, Scott was one of our illustrious leaders, and he would tell a story about how, at the time, his gimmick was that he would get a shave and a haircut. I don't know about the shave. The shave might be different, but he would get a haircut once a year. He would shave his head once a year and let it grow the entire year and then get it cut again. This was his one routine. So at certain points of the year, his hair was grown out significantly. So, not that that was a real inspiration for me, but it was something that came to mind to think, this guy did it. This is a guy I knew, 20 some years ago. I want to see what's that like. What is 1 year's worth of hair growth? So that was, just something else that was in my list of various things as to why this was an interesting experiment for me. Could also have been a little social experiment, considering that it did get a few odd comments and a few odd looks. So yeah, but at the same time, being completely isolated for most of the year, it didn't get a lot of exposure. It was only through pictures and videos that circulated on the interwebs, most of which I had to say at one point were more gag photos, and so never at the most flattering, and really kind of made it look like it was more of a disheveled look than it really was. Just so you know, I was taking care of it, washing myself, and looking after my personal hygiene to a certain degree. So it was well taken care of for the last year. We have spent more in our house on shampoo and conditioner than we normally do, than I would like to admit. And I've discovered some very interesting things about my hair. 20 some years ago, I've discovered that while the quality of my hair is still very nice, it is a lovely thin soft hair, it tangles more now as a 40-year-old than as a 20-year-old. Conditioner was not something that I really needed as much then, whereas now we are going through quite a lot. Not anymore after today, but that I found was an interesting thing. And different washing methods of taking care of my beard, growing my beard out. A friend of ours in Nova Scotia had sent me some beard oil and wax that I was using, and I got into different tricks of grooming my beard and oiling and waxing and stuff. And again, never thought that oiling and waxing was something that I would talk about myself in hygiene related to my beard. We won't go into other areas, but just, something new there as well. But yeah, so, that's a bit of the history of the last year of all of this and what has led me to this point. Sorry if any of this has gone off in random, strange directions. But yeah, so that's the story of all this. So tune in later this afternoon and you will get to see the big day, the main event, as I've called it. Hashtag Shave for the Brave, hashtag YAAC, Young Adult Cancer Canada. And we'll be coming to you live this afternoon from Cork Wine Bar in downtown St. John's. It is a lovely near summer day. It's the May 24 weekend, and this is a great way to start it. Just had my birthday yesterday. Just turned 44, and so this is going to be an interesting way to start out this next year. So, yeah, that's all I can think of. There's still time to donate. Go on to my Shave for the Brave page. Put in your donations. We are so close to hitting 2,000. That is double my original goal. We, I think, are $90 away. The support has been amazing. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you all online later. Bye.